Hello, thanks for those of you who went to back to school night, or welcome for those of you who didn't. My name is Miss Nguyen. I teach AP Environmental Science and Biology here at El Cerrito, and I wanted to go over quickly kind of my presentation from back to school night with y'all. So even if you weren't at back to school night, I would still appreciate you filling out this survey here, so you can head over there. It has really great information for me about your student and how I can best support them. So please fill that out. Awesome. So I would love to tell you a little bit more about myself and then tell you about environmental science as a whole. So first of all, in terms of my background, I am one of two Miss Nguyen's who teach here at El Cerrito High. We just hired another Miss Nguyen this past year, so don't get us confused. But I really love education. I was one of those kids who said I wanted to be a teacher when I grew up, which is really crazy to think about. I'm also very passionate about finding really great food to eat. Of course, my family and friends, spending time with them, swing dancing, social justice, and sleep, even though I don't get enough of that. In terms of education, I went to UC Berkeley, so go Bears. I studied environmental science there, and I minored with STEM education, and then I also completed my science credential at Berkeley as well through the CalTeach program. As a Gauchex, this is my fourth year here at El Cerrito High, and I have loved being at this school since I first started teaching. This year, I'm also on the school's leadership team, instructional leadership team, and also I am the science department chair. So I oversee all of the science department this semester, which is really exciting. So if you have any questions about science classes or electives or things like that, I'm the person that you could come and talk to. I'm also pretty active in sponsoring clubs as well, so hopefully that will continue. A few other likes and fun facts about me, because I think they inform who I am as a person and therefore how I teach. I am a professional swing dancer as well, so I travel all over the world, I compete, I teach swing dancing, so I'm teacher by day as well as teacher by night. Pre-COVID time, things have been kind of put on pause right now. I also love to paint, and I love to play board games. I own way too many board games than I could ever need. And I also love hiking and being outdoors in general. So how do those things kind of influence my teaching and my values? So first thing, I feel like learning should be very interactive. It's not just one person is talking and you're trying to absorb the material. I feel like that students learn from each other as well as from me. So that's why I have them spending a lot of time in groups. That's why I have them teaching each other and mostly just working together. Another thing that I believe is that learning doesn't stop after a test, and learning is a constant revision process. So even after a test, they're allowed to make up responses, do corrections, that sort of thing. And then lastly, these two are very important to distance learning, is that during this time, we all need to be really flexible and understanding of each other, from teacher to student, student to teacher, parents to students to teachers, all of that good stuff. And also that academics are not the only priority, because social health, emotional health, mental health is all super important right now as we are going through this pandemic. And finally, here's my contact info. If you want more of an immediate reply, say within the next few hours, you can text or call my Google Voice number, which is up there. You can email me for things that are less pressing or concerning. I'll probably take up to a day, but I'm usually pretty good about responding to my emails as well. So feel free to do that. I'm generally unavailable, after 8 p.m. So don't be upset if I haven't responded since then. Great. So on to the actual class. What is AP? AP stands for Advanced Placement. This means that this is a college level class, and I'm teaching college level material in one semester, which is crazy in itself. And that students can get college credit for passing the AP exam in May. And so if they do well in this AP exam, they can actually receive those credits and they will go toward their college education, which is super great. Environmental science in general is about the world and how we interact and live in it. So I tell my students that it's basically how the world works and also how humans are messing it up, because we are definitely doing that. So we talk about everything from ecosystems, biodiversity, pollution, population, climate change, all of those things. This class is very big in terms of breadth, and my goal is to try to go in depth as much as I can for each of these particular things. Cool. In terms of class flow, I've been meeting with my students every single day, Monday through Thursday. However, I'm already noticing that they're burning out, and I definitely don't want that to happen. And again, mental, physical health, very important. So I'm going to be limiting my live Zooms to Monday, Wednesdays, and those are going to be our live Zoom class days. On Tuesday, Thursday, I will be on Zoom, and they have the option to attend, come and ask me questions, listen to directions, all of that good stuff. And Friday is asynchronous. So Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, they will be getting independent, individual work, the same stuff that we would have been doing in class together on Zoom. However, they're going to have a little bit more agency and flexibility in when they can do them, and also to be off screen for a little bit, because I think that is important. In terms of a typical class day, they might have a pre-class assignment, which should be done before class. It's like an intro to the content. And then in class, they'll have some sort of learning check to make sure they did that particular reading or watched that particular video. We might do a quick set of lecture notes or discussion. And then the rest of the time will be for some sort of group interactive lesson, whether that's in their smaller groups of maybe 4 to 5, or whether that's a whole class sort of interactive. They have to message things, they have to click on things, that sort of deal. In terms of policies, I don't want to go over them because they're basically the same expectations that every teacher has. However, I do want to give you kind of a glimpse of what our Google Classroom looks like here, because otherwise you don't get to see what this looks like. This is what they're looking at every single day. So I've got important documents here, some important links, a list of assignments that are due. They have their kind of classwork for that day. So this is where they would go. They've got a list of their pre-class assignments, and all of those are linked on there. And then everything else gets kind of filed away in each of the units. So this is what they've been working on. Just to give you an idea, today they did kind of like a drag and drop activity on biomes that they had to complete while I was giving a lecture. And then they also did a whodunit, kind of solve a mystery type of problem where they had to answer the correct questions in order to get the correct clues to be able to solve the mystery. So I'm trying my best to be as engaging as possible in these online circumstances. Great. So next thing, hopefully you all have seen this already. This is my syllabus. I worked really hard on it, so I hope you like it. But it's got all of the information that you possibly need about my contact information, about course materials, about the distance learning expectations. It's got things from how they can get support from me, how you can get support from me, the grading policy for the class, our community agreements, and then of course an outline of the topics that we're going to be talking about this semester. So this is a very useful resource. Feel free to click on this once you get the link to this presentation. Cool. And then finally, how you can help as a parent, guardian, and loved one is to just really be patient with everything in this process, because everything is so new, and really keep that line of communication open, because it's really helpful for us to be getting feedback, and it's also really helpful for us to have that communication about your student, right, and how to support them in the best ways. Cool. Second thing that you can do to help is to be really active in knowing what their grades are and what they're doing in class. So there are 2 ways that you can do that. Number 1 is give me your email so that you can be added as a guardian on Google Classroom. What that means is you'll get a weekly report of what your student has been turning in and not turning in on Google Classroom. So think of it as like a PowerSchool report, but for Google Classroom. Great. And then the second thing that you can do, which is I think unique to my class, is check out our class website. My class website has all of the information that you need to know about what's going on in class. So it's got basic information here. You can, click through things and so on. Got some how-tos on tech that you might be able to use. Got some resources here down below. But the thing that you are probably more interested in is what are they doing? So you can head over to our class. You can check out let's say week 2, for example, you've got a week at a glance. So this is all of the things that we have done in class this week or will be doing in class this week. Everything is also linked here to Google Classroom. And then you've got the individual days. You can also click here if, say, they missed class, and this is a quick kind of recap video from me about what we did in class that particular day. Great, so check out this resource. It's super helpful, I think, and I've got a lot of things on there that you can go and explore. And then finally, check in with your student about their mental, physical, emotional health, and really just try to provide the best learning environment that you can for them, because it's really hard to separate school from home and work from home if we're all kind of in the same place, right? And it's hard to be in my room doing the teaching things. So as much as you can set up a work space and a learning space for them, I think the more that they'll be able to succeed in that environment. So that's all from me. I super appreciate you taking the time to listen. I am sending out an email with links to all of these resources, including this presentation. So hopefully you can take a look at those, and feel free to message me or email me if you have any other questions. Thanks so much.